From the Detroit Free Press, in the heart of the Motor City, it's Tuesday, June 16th. Here are today's top stories. Brought to you by JB's Smokehouse, located inside Bush's Fresh Food Market of Canton. JB's offers a range of authentic barbecue favorites, and with more than 30 Michigan craft beers on tap, trivia, and live music every Friday night, JB's is sure to become your new favorite barbecue spot.
This is Todd Spangler, Washington correspondent for the Detroit Free Press. The Supreme Court on Monday issued a landmark decision in a Michigan case. Aimee Stephens, who died last month, had brought a case saying she was fired from her job in 2013 for being transgender. She said that violated federal civil rights laws. But the owner of the funeral home where she worked argued that it was within his rights to require her to dress as a man. On Monday, the Supreme Court ruled 6-3 that the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits job discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. The case was argued before the Supreme Court last October, and the decision came as something of a surprise since the court is considered to lean conservative. Stephens was 59 years old when she died last month, awaiting the decision.
This is Phoebe Wall-Howard, a reporter on the Detroit Free Press Autos team. I'm covering not just the upcoming debut of the Ford Bronco, but in fact have confirmed that Ford Motor Company will unveil the new design of the popular SUV on July 9th. Yes, OJ Simpson's birthday. OJ Simpson, the former football player, is perhaps best known for leading a police chase in a 1993 Ford Bronco, a white Bronco, driven by his friend and former teammate Al Collings along the 405 in Southern California. At the time, Simpson was charged in the slayings of his ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and her friend, Ron Goldman. At this time, Ford has not confirmed additional detail. Fans of the popular SUV are eager to see the design. It is expected to go head-to-head with the Jeep Wrangler.
I'm Kayla Cockrell for the Detroit Free Press, and after 110 years, the bust of Christopher Columbus, looming over an entrance to the Detroit-Windsor Tunnel, has finally got the boot. The city of Detroit finally removed the display after years of organizers calling for action. In 2015, an axe was jammed into the head of Christopher Columbus, and the pedestal was covered in fake blood. On Monday, John Roach, a spokesman for the mayor's office, said Mayor Duggan decided the bust ought to be placed in storage.
We should have a conversation as a community as to what is the appropriate place for such a statue, but I don't want to have that conversation in the midst of at gunpoint or in the middle of arguments. So I just had him put it in storage. We'll have a conversation as a community.
The request gained renewed momentum last week when protesters placed a sign around the neck of Columbus that read, "Looter, rapist, slave trader." This being an incident in a series of attacks on depictions of the explorer across the nation.
This is Omari Sankofa II, Pistons beat writer for the Detroit Free Press. 3 weeks after reopening their search for a new general manager, the Pistons have narrowed down their search to 3 candidates. Oklahoma City Thunder Vice President Troy Weaver is currently the favorite for the position. Clippers assistant GM Mark Hughes and Nets assistant GM Jeff Peterson are also under consideration. The Pistons want to accomplish 2 goals with the hire. They want to find an experienced candidate who can immediately help the team undergo a rebuild, and they would prefer to hire a diverse candidate. Weaver, Hughes, and Peterson check both boxes, but Weaver is the most accomplished of the 3. He has been instrumental in Oklahoma City's success during the past decade, helping the organization remain competitive despite constant roster attrition. He joined the Thunder in 2008 and was later promoted to Vice President of Basketball Operations, which is his current role. As the Thunder's second-in-command under Sam Presti, Weaver is experienced in roster construction and rebuilding on the fly. That experience appeals to the Pistons, who, like the Thunder, will likely rely on trades and the draft to become competitive. Detroit will potentially have a top 5 draft pick and more than $30 billion in cap space this summer, which will give the new GM ample tools to work with. The Pistons are optimistic they will have a hire completed by June 30th.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Tad Davis. Hundreds of people in Michigan have died as a result of the coronavirus. But to us, they're more than a number. The Detroit Free Press is telling the stories of loved ones lost due to the coronavirus. If you have a family member who has died and you would like to share their story, we'd like to hear from you. To share your story, you can leave us a voicemail at 313-444-2727. 2760 or fill out the form at our website. See you tomorrow.